By the end of this video, you will know how to run the most effective and efficient one-to-one meetings as a Scrum Master with each one of your team members of the Scrum team. First, let's talk about the elephant in the room. People hate meetings, and developers hate meetings even more. We hate meetings because we believe it's a waste of time. Inefficient meetings, ineffective meetings, meetings that could have been an email. So when watching this video, when doing one-to-one sessions with all these team members, always bear in mind that the person might not want to be here. The person might hate meetings because of their past experiences. So ask yourself the question, what's in it for them? How can I make this process more pleasurable for this person? Because this person might hate meetings and hate being here with you. Let's start with understanding why. Why do we need to have yet another meeting? It all starts with the role of the Scrum Master. You need to understand your role. You are a servant leader. You are a teacher, a coach, a mentor. You are here to support the team. Each one of these team members, the team, help them unleash their potential. It's all about coaching, and you can't do that effectively without doing one-to-one meetings. One-to-one meetings are extremely powerful as a Scrum Master. It's a tool that you need to use. That's why we need yet another meeting. And it's especially true when joining a new team. When joining a new team, people don't trust you. You're a newcomer. Who is this Scrum Master joining the team? I won't trust them, and you can't do your job. You can help, support, help people grow without their trust. So the first thing you should be doing when joining a new team is scheduling one-to-one sessions regularly with each one of his team members. You don't even need to talk about practices, agile practices, the Scrum framework. No one cares about that. Don't talk about work. Just talk about hobbies, your personal life, their personal life. Get to know the person. This will rapidly build trust. And once someone trusts you, then you can start working with this person. Coaching, supporting, mentoring, teaching. They trust you now. One-to-one meetings, powerful tool, extremely important tool for a Scrum Master. If you want to know how to build trust when joining a new Scrum team, watch this video right here. Now let's move on to how to run these effective and efficient one-to-one sessions with each one of your team members. So efficient and effective that people will love joining. They are anticipating a one-to-one session with you, first Scrum Master of a team. How do you run that? Well, I use a simple method. I use a personal retro. You know retrospectives, right? Sprint retrospectives. You should be doing that every single sprint when using the Scrum framework. Retrospectives are all about what went well in the sprint and what could be improved, what lessons we can learn from the sprint and improve in the next sprint. Personal retro, the same thing, but you're only doing that with a single person. But remember, it all starts with trust. The assumption here is that you got their trust first. You know exactly the goal. The goal is to support them, help them, guide them, coach them to unleash their potential. Trust, goal is here. Now you move on to the personal retro. Here's a format that I typically use when doing these one-to-one personal retros. First, start by scheduling the session. 20 minutes, 30 minutes is a good session to have with a person. 1 hour, I believe it's too much when starting out. You can do that later, but when starting out, you already got their trust. One-to-one sessions, personal retros, 20 to 30 minutes. You schedule the session. If a person is open to just go grab coffee, go grab lunch, doesn't need to be a formal meeting, all the better. Remember, we are here to ask ourselves continuously, what's in it for them? How can I make this session more pleasurable for them? And if this would mean grabbing coffee and having an informal session, please do it. You're here to support them. You're not here to make it difficult for them to talk to you. Second, extremely important, what's the outcome? What's the expected outcome? Their expected outcome. Let them tell you what they intend to achieve during these one-to-one sessions. How do they see it? What do they want to achieve after a one-to-one session? What do they want to achieve in the long run? What are their goals? Do they want to learn agile practices? How to be more efficient at work, effective at work? Do they believe that there's a skill that they need to improve? How can you help them as a Scrum Master? Let them come up with that. And once we agree together on an expected outcome, we work towards that every single session. Obviously, we can talk about our stuff, we can talk about hobbies, personal stuff. There's nothing wrong with it, as long as we are continuously progressing towards the expected outcome. During the one-to-one sessions, the key is to ask them open-ended questions. How questions? What questions? Here are the questions I typically ask them. First, how are you doing right now? How do you feel the team is doing right now? How well has the team been communicating lately? What problems has the team dealt with? Any challenges? Anything I can help? Also, like, what is the biggest annoyance or blocker you've been experiencing recently? How do you feel the last retrospective with the team went? How can I make your day easier? Anything else about the team or work we should talk about today? You let them talk, answer all these questions, and then you end the meeting by thanking them to be here and asking them, are we progressing towards your expected outcome? How do you feel the meeting, the one-to-one session that we just had went? The key part here, open-ended questions, extremely important. It's their content. Yeah. Their content. You're just here to ask questions. Vague questions. Let them come up with their content, and then you can guide them towards the right direction. When starting out, maybe you can tell them what to do. You're a teacher, right? But with time, they are the experts in their field. They are the person who needs to grow. They should be finding their own solutions, and you're just simply doing coaching. Guiding them. Open-ended questions, extremely powerful if you have this outcome in mind. And when the person starts opening up because they have your trust, you might start realizing that this person is talking way more now than during the sprint retrospectives. Yeah, you're getting way more information out from this person. Ask yourself a question. Why? Is the one-to-one session because of that? Or is the person not psychologically safe with the whole team? They prefer talking to you one-to-one. And if that's true, ask the person, do you feel safe talking to the team the same way as talking to me? And if no, why? Solve the problem, psychological safety. And if you do that with each one of the team members, I guarantee that your team retrospective also and how they communicate during the day, all the team members will greatly improve because you're specifically fixing the psychological safety issue with each one of these team members, and you're helping them be more safe. When scheduling the one-to-one sessions, try to book every single week when starting out. 15 minutes. 20 minutes, 30 minutes every single week. Same time, same place. You start on time and you end on time. Try to do face-to-face conversations if possible. Else online also works with the webcam on. But please, start on time. End on time. This person might not want to be in this meeting, so make the meeting pleasurable for them. If you want to grab coffee, go grab coffee. Informal sessions are also okay. Second thing is taking notes. Don't take notes during the meeting. I don't like it. I don't like it when I'm talking to someone and this person is focused on taking notes on a piece of paper or typing. I'm hearing the keyboard, back on the keyboard. I don't like that. I don't like that. I prefer the attention of a person, eye contact with a person. I'm doing a one-to-one session with this person. I'm comfortable sharing. It's hard for me being comfortable sharing with this person. I might not want to be here because I feel that this session is not efficient and effective yet. And this person is not even looking at me. More interested in taking notes. Take action points. Key notes. But I see so many Scrum Masters and coaches taking the whole thing. They're like writing while you're talking. Doesn't make any sense. During the session, try to move a conversation towards action. Same as you do in sprint retrospectives. What's the next action? They have a problem, they found a solution. What's the next action? And then you can write down these actions. And at the end of the session, ask them, was the session valuable to you? Do you feel that the session was valuable? Here are the list of actions that you will do by the next session or by X. But also talk, what are we going to talk about in the next session? Give them a preview so that maybe they can tell you something that you can prepare prior to coming to a session, or they can prepare prior to coming to the session. Actions are important, and you start the next session by talking about these actions. Did you work on that? Where are we up to? And a final tip, the most important tip of this video, listen. You're not here to talk during one-to-one sessions. You can ask questions, yeah. You shouldn't be giving your opinion. When starting out, yeah, maybe you can preach, teach them, but afterwards, listen. 80% should be listening. Maybe 90% listening. Only here to ask questions, clarifying questions that will guide them towards the right direction, their own right direction. Listening is hard. It's something that you need to practice, and you can even repeat their words, their phrases, to confirm your understanding of what they are saying. This will give them the impression that they are being listened to. They will open it even more, which brings me to my next point. If you want more tips, insights on Agile, Scrum, personal growth, click on the video that stands out the most on the screen right now, and I'll see you in a few seconds.